It's a new week in the Crew Motorfest, and this week's theme is called Beat the Devs, and this is my summit guide. Let's go. All right, and speaking of something new, it might be time for a new chair, and if it is, I need exactly 1 minute of your time to pay the bills real quick. You guys know I don't sell a bunch of things on this channel. In fact, I say no to potential sponsors every single week, and it's because I believe that if I'm going to make a recommendation, it better be a recommendation that I stand behind on a product that I actually use. My eWin Racing chair is legit the most comfortable chair I've ever owned and is literally the only chair I've used for the past 3 years. They are by far the best racing chairs on the market because of their insane adjustability and durability. They are super simple to put together with tools that they provide in the box. They have top-notch quality materials. I mean, I'm 6 foot 250 and I really need something that's going to support my weight and be comfortable for my height, and the Flash XL series is exactly that. 550-pound weight limit, extra large seating area, and a height adjustment that's good for people up to 7 feet tall. Go check out ewinracing.com. There's a link in the description, and make sure you use code Militia for 30% off. That's a huge discount. All right, let's get back to it. All right, starting out with the cars this week, we got the 2.3 million buck bundle. Comes with 3 cars. It's the McLaren 720S Spider, this one here, the Ford Shelby GR1 Concept, and the Audi R8 LMS GT2, this guy here in racing. Those are the 3 cars you're going to need. Everything else is a loan to you in the summit. You're going to need these ones, and you're going to need some pro settings, which I have on my website. Just go to militiagamingco.com, click on Motorfest tools from the top, and there you will find them. There's not going to be any additional vehicles because this week there are 9 events. There's not 6 plus 3 feats. There is 9 actual races. So this is going to be a little bit of a challenging one for those of you who sort of rely on those feats to give you easy points. You're going to have to race 9 events this week. And I know that a lot of people are going to be like, I don't want to do that. What's the point of doing that? Well, this week, there's a car up for grabs. It's the BMW M3 Street Riders Edition. It actually looks pretty cool. We've driven it a little bit here in the summit. Haven't had a chance to test it, obviously, because it's only available in the summit. That test will happen next week. But the car feels all right. It oversteers quite a bit, just like the M3 in Street 1, but this one is actually in Street 2. So I think it's worth it, man. It's a really nice looking car, nice wrap, and it might be pretty good in Street 2, so we'll see. All right, the first event is with that loaned M3. Now, I want to apologize about the gameplay a little bit. It's a little framey. I used a little bit different program to record, and it didn't quite work out, but I don't want to go back and do the whole summit over again. So you're just gonna have to deal with it for this week. Next week, we'll get it ironed out. All right, let's get into it, man. So this race, there's not really a whole lot of tricks. It's more about NOS management than anything. So make sure you're using the top end of your NOS. You don't want to be in the red at all. Otherwise, you will lose to the devs. There are a couple of little like spots where you can, you know, shave some time with some corner cuts. Let's get to those. This one here at 37%, you can go across the grass here. Try not to lose traction. Go on the left side of that checkpoint because there's a truck there that you have to avoid anyways. This one here at 52, to the left after the pipes, on the left side of the tree, on the left side of the flag there. This one at 61, you can extend near the buildings. Just go as fast as you can, extend near the buildings, and then get yourself back on the road and use some NOS to keep your speed going. All right, near the end here, you're gonna go a little bit across the grass on this one near the house, then go straight across the grass here, use some NOS to get across, and then you're gonna cut the fence on this one, and then stay on the road a little bit, and then cut near the house here, and NOS to the finish. All right, that's it. Let's move on. All right, the next event is with the Golf GTI. There's a couple of things you need to know about this one. The breakable objects are going to slow you down a lot. Trees, lampposts, fences, those types of things. You try to avoid that as much as you can. Now, this first part, you want to drift into it like that. Then when you get close to this jump up here, you can use a little bit of NOS in the air. Try to stay to the right of these trees, just like he's doing. NOS in the air, get it in 5th, and NOS. NOS again in the air here, and try to point the car to the left. That's how you keep the most speed. Now for this one, I went full speed and drifted into the corner and wall bounce. Make sure you're wall bouncing flat. Don't hit the front of the car. Cut the corner here on the sidewalk. Go wide, extend onto the sidewalk here, and then cut to the right of the flag here. And keep cutting across the grass. You want to try to make that turn as short as possible. Now this one, you can go very inside onto the curb. And then across the curb here, and then cut it hard to the right. Make sure you don't hit the front of your car on that wall. NOS in the air. NOS in the air again when you get to this ramp. and then just stay to the left and take the wall. Downshift into second when you leave, and there you go. Now when you get down from that jump, you're gonna make a left here. Try to go through the parking lot if you can, and stay wide, and then cut it back left. This is a very sharp turn here. In second gear, cut it really sharp close to that car, and then NOS in the air. That way you get a little bit of momentum going into the tunnel. All right, this is all self-explanatory. Just straight, use your NOS, use your NOS. That's it. That's all the cuts. All right, let's move on. All right, this next race is going to irritate a lot of you. This motorcycle race is challenging. I'll start out with the start of the race. To get a perfect start, you want to hold the gas on the number 2. Then the second you see go, you shift up into second. Now you can't really do this if you're on automatic, but if you're not, if you're on manual, you can. So that'll help you proc the traction control, and you'll be able to take off a little bit faster. Now this race is, like I said, very tough. There's a couple of cuts that you're going to need to know. The first thing here is to stay wide to the left a little, and then you can cut this full speed into this corner here and NOS when you make the corner. On this flag, you're going to cut to the left and go down the hill. Stay on the bank of the hill, and then as soon as you get back towards the regular, like right here, I'm already letting off at about there, so that I can slow down for the corner that's at the bottom of the hill. It takes forever to break this motorcycle. So I'm already letting off here, downshifting, braking, all the way to second gear so that I can make this turn. Make it as tight as possible. That's the way you're gonna do it the fastest. On this turn right here, you can cut to the left inside this hill. Make sure you stay up kind of towards the top of it, and then return to the road there. Make sure you slow down for this corner here. When you get to this point, make a left at the last flag right there. Go on the left side of these rocks, and then slow down a lot for this corner here. I actually went a little too fast there. But anyway, you can wrap it around if you're in the right gear. Now, going down this part is pretty tricky. This part right there, I hit my head on the rock, which ended up not costing me any time, but it could have. Now, right here, you're going to stay inside on the left here, and then go straight down. On this part, you can actually go faster. The line that dev took is actually a faster line. You can see how far ahead he is. If I would have taken that line, it would have been better. But you can cut to the right here. Try to avoid these rocks. There's rocks everywhere on this path. You got to stay on the path as much as possible. When you start to go up this hill here, stay really tight to the hill here, because there's rocks in the middle of the road. And then you can cross back over and then use this little part of the hill and downshift to sort of make it down this part of the hill. Now, this is the tricky part. This is the part that you're going to go like, what the heck did I just watch? Instead of following the path down the hill this way, you're actually going to go up over this hill, and you're going to cut down it like this towards the checkpoint. Use some NOS. It's going to throw you crazy, right? See how crazy it threw me? But it's going to put you at the perfect angle to hit this jump, which is right like this. And then you're going to be NOSing in the air to make sure that you get the correct angle. I'm going to show it to you one more time in full speed, because it is kind of tricky. So here's what it looks like. Up over the hill, it kind of pushes you to the left a little. It's okay. Control the bike as much as possible. Down the hill, and then all the way off the jump onto the section down here in the downhill. It really saves you a lot of time here. And then when you get up to this place, you're going to cut to the left a little bit and downshift and go through the trees a little here. You're trying to hit this flag and then accelerate to the finish line. So that is it. Good luck with that one, man. Good luck. All right, let's move on. All right, the fourth race is with the McLaren, and let's see if I can find the cuts for this one. Nothing here in the beginning, except for this. Actually, I lied. It's right here at about 8%. So going under the bridge, then cut to the right across the grass. Here we go. And use some NOS when you get outside of that grass. You can start using your NOS. Now, I like to cut the flag here at the very sharp corner. You can see it on the mini map there. So go to the left a little, downshift and brake, and then cut across the grass here and work your way up the hill. That saves you some time for sure. Now, these uphill turns are all gutter turns. If you struggle with that, I do have a gutter guide. Make sure you check that out. I'm not the best at it either, but it's going to help you with a lot with your times. Let's move on to the next cut. Let's see. All right, so on this part here, 39%, I actually cut across the grass. There's a little jump, but if you do the right angle, the car kind of settles in. I actually lost control a little bit, but I ended up controlling it enough to be in the gutter, and it actually worked out really well. So definitely attempt that. If it throws the car too much, maybe just go just slightly slower or something like that. Let's move on to, okay, at the bottom of this hill, I do a wall tap to slow me down and then make the turn onto the road. I think that's it for these ones. Let me see if there's any other. I don't think there's any more cuts. It's all staying on the road from there. So just do your best. All right, let's move on. All right, the next race is with the Audi, and this one is the rally race. Now this one is, there's a lot going on here, but I'll just talk about some things that I think will really, really help you, and that's the cuts for this one. So let's fast forward here. I wouldn't use any NOS really until you get to about right here after this turn here. So make this turn, then use some NOS. Then use a little bit in the air here. You get a little jump there and a little jump there. Use some NOS. This turn at the bottom of the hill is a drift turn. You just want to take it as fast as possible. Now, when you're done with this turn, you're going to cut left of the flag. So you want to avoid this road altogether. Just cut left. You can really cut that one. I'll go straight across there. At the bottom of, after this turn here, let's see. After this turn, there you go. You can go across the grass here towards the checkpoint. And you're going to stay to the left a little bit because you want to regain traction on the road here. And then you can NOS across the water there. Make sure you stay in sixth for the water section there. You'll lose less speed. Cut here across, go to the left of the flag, and then cut to the right on this one, and to the left of this flag. So that's the line there. You can really cut that one too. You're going to also cut to the right of this one, go through the trees, and you are going to go straight towards this next checkpoint. Then you'll be NOSing up this hill here. Let's see, NOS, NOS, NOS. Oh yeah, this line here is good too. So once you go up this hill, NOS in the air here, stay to the left because there's brick walls on the inside. Then downshift after that flag, and then kind of take it a nice controlled corner up that hill. On this flag, you cut to the left and go through the trees. And when you're down here, you're going to cut to the right after this flag and use some NOS in the air. Make sure you get the car back to the left side because you'll go off that bridge. And that's it. Just NOS to the finish. All right, let's move on. All right, this one's with the GR Concept. There's kind of a lot in this one too. They picked some courses with a lot of cuts and little tricks and things that you need to do. So it's pretty interesting. Let's move on to the part where, let's see, up here. Okay, so once you get done with this jump, you're gonna skip this jump here, go to the left, and then set up your turn here. Go inside as much as possible. Don't hit the water tank. Use a lot of NOS here. You have time to recover it on the next couple of turns, so use a bunch there. Slow down, use the gutter, and you're just gonna keep turning. Don't worry about accelerating too much. Just, you know, easy on the throttle there. On this one, you're gonna skip the jump again on the right, and then you're gonna cut inside here. Make sure you don't run into anything. Make the turn. Same thing on this one. Slow down a little bit, get it in third, and make this turn. I think I lost traction. I did a little bit there. Went a little wide. Cut this corner at 35, and then line yourself up for the jump. Get it into sixth when you get to the air, and use a lot of NOS there. You want to get a lot of momentum here. All right, now you get to the boat jump. You can take this one with a little bit of NOS, and then this jump you want to kind of go to the left and just kind of chill. You don't want to use a bunch of NOS there. Turn the car to the right though. You got to turn the car to the right. If you don't, you're going to be really in trouble. You notice I collided with the containers there. You can do that. It's no problem. Now here, got to control the speed. Now also on this event, the stunt assist is important, and I'll show you why here. Notice the car get magnetized to the circles around these trees. That's the stunt assist. So make sure your stunt assist is on comfort. You really need that thing to hook the car, and you can go into it with pretty much full speed and just you know, just making sure you drift as you're going into it. If you're not drifting into it, you're gonna have a problem. The car's not gonna grip up like that, so make sure you drift into it. All right, let's see. At the top of this hill, you want to stay right here. You want to stay to the right of these flags and go down the hill instead of going off the jump. And then again, stunt assist here to make this turn. And let's see, I think that's almost it. So here, stunt assist around this corner and straight to the finish line. Yep, that's it. All right, let's move on. All right, this one, I really have no advice for you other than try your best to get used to driving this track. There's no cuts, there's no tricks, no nothing like that.
I can tell you kind of where you need to be using your NOS. This turn here, this little chicane is a 6th gear, 6th gear chicane, and then into 7th here. But you need to use your NOS after this turn in the tunnel. So you make this left, shift up to 7th and use your NOS, go to 8th again, use your NOS. And then you're going to use it again, sort of right here before this thing. And right after this, you're going to want to use it again here on the straight. So those are like the main NOS points. Other than that, just drive it. That's it. Let's move on. All right, this next event is with the Audi. This one is going to be tough for a lot of you because there's really, I don't think there's any cuts in this one as well. I think this one is pretty much wide open. You just have to stay on the road, and it requires a lot of skill for this one. I mean, I really think this is probably the one that requires the most skill. It's a tough course. It's a lot of gutters. It's pretty technical. So let me fast forward just in case I missed anything, but I'm pretty sure there's no cuts in this one. I was right. There's no more cuts. Actually, there's no cuts. It's just a lot of gutter turns and a lot of NOS. So there you go. Good luck on this one as well, guys. Sorry, man. All right, let's move on. All right, the last race is with the 959, and this one's along the beach. Just keep in mind you're on sand, so you're not going to have as much traction as you would normally in the dirt. On this first turn, you can go ahead and drift it, and make sure you drift all the way around. Stay tight to the rocks if you can, because you want to hit this jump here. NOS in the air, and then you're gonna sort of drift around this corner as well. Try to keep it as tight to the corner as possible and NOS your way out of it. For this section here, I go around the rock on the right side just so I can get a cleaner look at this one, and we downshift heavy into second and brake and try to take this fairly slow. If you try to go fast there, you're definitely going to go into the water. This one, try to stay on the land, then at an angle to the right, NOS a little bit, angle the car left, and NOS again. Now I angled it too far left. You can see I ended up in the rocks, but here's what you want to do. So you want to angle it to the right just a little, and then your goal is to, you want to go off this jump and in between this big rock here and the rocks on the side of the wall. I ended up hitting the rocks on the side of the wall, but it worked out because I just kind of bounced and kept going. I kept a lot of speed through that section. I didn't really mean to, and it kind of messed me up here because I didn't want to go into the water. You want to stay out of the water as much as possible here, and make sure you conserve a little bit of NOS. You want some for the jump that's about to come up. Notice I'm not really using it too much here. You want to hit this this hill here, and then you're going to want to hit this one here and try to get to the right. Stay on the beach section here. Again, you're just using little bits of NOS in the air. Stay to the left here as we get to the ramp here, and go left off of this ramp. Now you're looking, the visual cue here is these 3 palm trees. Let me back up a little. So the visual cue here is these 3 big palm trees here surrounding this Beat the Devs balloon here. You want to go to the right of the last one. So that's where you're looking. To the right of the last one. Notice it's pretty packed in here, but that's the angle you want, and just make your turn right after that little hut or bathroom or whatever that is. Now you want to stay close to the water here, but then go out wide and miss this jump. It's a little bit faster to not hit that jump because the jump throws you kind of up in the air. End up using a lot of NOS. So miss that jump. Go to the left on this jump to get back onto the sand, and you can use a lot of NOS there in the air. Now when you get here, I went a little bit wide to the right to try to slow myself down for this corner, because you want to stay tight to the rocks. So you want to stay as tight to the rocks as possible there. Then you're going to cut to the left, or take the left path, I should say. And then when you get here, you're just going to, drift the car into the water and NOS yourself to the finish line. That's it. All right, here are my final scores. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, send me a DM on Instagram or Discord. I read every single message that comes my way. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you on the next one. Trigger out.